Muchas gracias, muchas gracias. Gracias. Thank you very much. Let me get some things done before you applaud so much, okay? Muchas gracias, Mauricio. Me siento en casa porque desde que se fundó el US-Cuba Democracy PAC he colaborado con ustedes. La misión de esta organización es muy sencilla: abogar para que los Estados Unidos y su Congreso apoyen incondicionalmente la libertad y la democracia para el pueblo de Cuba. Una postura que, además de ser moral, es consistente con los intereses de seguridad nacional y económicos de este gran país que ha servido de albergue para las incontables víctimas de la tiranía cubana durante casi ya 56 años. Me complace mucho haber apoyado con mis recursos personales la labor de ustedes a través de los años, y ahora en el Congreso me uno al equipo de legisladores cubanoamericanos y a sus aliados que en el tema de Cuba siempre han puesto los intereses de los Estados Unidos y del pueblo cubano primero. I come from a generation that did not experience the pain of summary executions, political prison, and displacement. But we have felt pain every time we have listened to the anecdotes told by our parents and our grandparents. My grandfather served 12 years in a political jail. His brother was executed. My parents and grandparents lost all of their possessions and began a new life in a generous but strange land, struggling to survive and later to grow so that our generation could live more comfortably. We have felt pain every time we have buried these most special and resilient men and women, knowing they died without witnessing justice for their homeland. My generation is extremely curious about our Cuban roots. We want to see where our families originated and where our parents grew up, where my mom and my dad met, the house where one of my grandmother's sisters would chaperone them while they chatted on the couch. But even greater than our curiosity is our strong sense of solidarity with a cause that is also ours. The cause of 11 million Cubans, many of them young men and women like us, who have been condemned to oppression and hopelessness by a heartless regime. We are a generation that wants to see relations between the United States and Cuba normalized when the Cuban government frees all political prisoners, restores basic human rights, and calls for free and fair elections. We know that, as is the case with most of America's enemies throughout the world, the regime in Havana only takes advantage of unilateral concessions while offering nothing in return for the benefit of the Cuban people and of the United States. We are a generation that will always fight for this cause because it is right and because it is just, because it is our cause, and because it is the only way that we can honor our families and the sacrifices made by so many during over half a century of tyranny, oppression, and pain. You can always count on me to fight. Thank you very much.